This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to Off the Clock Shop Talk. Myself and George are here, and I don't know where the fuck Sabas is at.
I don't know, man. I think he might be out battling with Gary, maybe.
Yeah, I think him and Gary, we're gonna go a couple rounds. But, you know, we're here. We've got a special guest for you, returning guest, Silver Antonio. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, brothers?
How you been?
Good, thriving, blessed, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Any updates for you, man? Just in your life, what's going on with you?
In my updates, man, there's a lot of updates. There's a lot going on in this labor movement, man, which is what I'm here for, man. Just to pass on a couple of things that I wish I would have passed on this last time on the show, you know.
Hey, that's what it's all about. I mean, I think, you know, as we have had a lot of returning guests, Gary being number one. He's
the most frequent. Yeah.
Taking Salvas' spot. Shout out to Gary Brockett. But, you know, as we get more, you know, have more returning guests and whatnot, it gives them more of an opportunity to touch on some stuff that they missed, give us an update. What's going on in your yard?
What's going on in my yard? We got into the effects bargaining with this automation, right?
Oh, shit.
I get to see these guys in action, man. These guys that represent us, man. It's my first time sitting down and witnessing it, man. And tell you, man, we're in good hands. I'll tell you that, man. These guys are blowing me away, man. It's
good to hear because, I mean, automation is going to touch all. I mean, eventually it'll touch everything, right?
Everything
it'll touch, but warehousemen for sure. It seems like that's like the big focus right now. The automated driving that seems like that's kind of what's next on the horizon. But
it's on the way, yeah.
The warehousemen are definitely affected by automation. What's the sentiment in the building? Is it kind of nervous?
A lot of uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
I'll say there's a lack of transparency with the company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you their game plan.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be transparent with, you know, how many people we're going to need when it's all said and done. We got numbers for everything, but when it comes to selection, we got numbers for all the job classifications. But when it comes to selection, man, you know, they don't want to provide it, man.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, that's one of the things that we're standing on.
So is that like going to be the biggest part affected
selection
by the automation?
Yeah. They're saying that all the other bid jobs, the same number, but when it comes to selection, that's the thing that's going to change. That's the thing that's going to be impacted.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but from what I see, man, like I said, it's going to be a big impact. They're telling us they don't expect any layoffs, and obviously, man, we're full of shit. Yeah. They're full of shit, right? They're not spending,
you don't get zero layoffs.
$140-something million, right? Like,
it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to invest all this money into this robot, but we're still going to pay everybody else.
Yeah, man.
Right?
You know, they're afraid of.
How? Please tell me how.
They're afraid of a big shakeout before. They're afraid of some overtime before. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, like you said, there's definitely some uncertainty in all realms as technology comes in. That's one of the things that we were kind of talking about off camera. As technology comes in, we really can't stop it. That's not the way things work. It's not the way of the world. We've talked, you know, a little bit about the Industrial Revolution prior and how that affected, you know, workers, our economy, loss of jobs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And technology is rearing its head, whether you like it or not. It is what it is, coming into play again.
On the horizon.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, but we got some movement. I mean, we got people with some seniority, man, that are taking off, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're optimistic that there's not going to be any layoffs, because there's going to be a shakeout beforehand.
Yeah.
You got people that are not going to want to go on different shifts now, want to go back to selection. Like, people are looking for new jobs.
Really?
I had a friend today, man. This guy, like 25 years, you know. Seemed like he just picked up another job. So.
Really?
Yeah. 25 years seniority, man. So.
Is it directly? And, you know, his decision was directly impacted by the automation coming in?
Exactly, man. Yeah, he didn't like his odds, man. He wanted weekends. He wanted, you know, he put on all this time, and he didn't want to take a step backwards, right? Like, he likes the quality of life right now, man. And he's
That's
willing,
tough.
He's willing to make that big step, you know, for his family, for his – so I guess that's why they're optimistic, man. You know, that and, you know, probably some severance packages that – an incentive for people to retire, and that's what they're hoping, right?
Yeah.
That it has less of an impact. They can, so that's what they're standing on, I believe, but we still would like those numbers, right? And
Yeah, for sure.
that's for sure, without a
At least
doubt.
so, you can kind of plan ahead and in all reality, if they, not that they do, but if they did care about their workers, they would allow us to plan and get ahead of things and kind of, now I think they're looking at it more like it's going to be a war. And in a war, you don't give people your strategy.
Yeah.
How it is, right?
Yeah.
You don't give people your strategy. I think they know they're in for a fight because we're here. Our whole sole job here is to protect people and their livelihood. And, as companies come and threaten that, whether that be through technology or harassment in the workplace or whatever, they know we're going to step up. So I think that's the way they're looking at it. I think that's why they probably don't want to give you their projections of how many actual jobs they're going to lose or.
Yeah, they're kind of hiding behind language, man. And, they're not giving it to us straight, man.
Yeah.
So
and it's
expected, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's expected, man. Yeah.
So
that position.
Fresh back from Joint Council 42 delegates meeting, the craft meetings that go on there, and those of you guys that don't know, we have Joint Council 42 delegates meetings, and we'll have craft meetings, and kind of get an update from all the locals in Joint Council 42, right? If you guys don't know out there, so there are your local, whatever that may be. If you're a Teamster, this is kind of what we're referring to, and I don't know the structure of other unions, to be honest, but in ours, we have your local, which represents you, and possibly a craft, right, within a certain geometric area, whatever you want to call it. So they might represent our local's a general local, so we represent a lot of different crafts. So you'll have your local, which is kind of like your home base. They represent you. That's where your business agents are going to come out of. Your secretary, treasurer, president, vice president, e-board. Then you have another, group of locals that will band together and create a joint council. Yeah. So they kind of affect a lot more people in a lot bigger geographical area. And then from there, you have the IBT, right? So the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Shout out to Sean O'Brien. President.
Shout out.
Doing his thing up there in Washington, D.C., just kind of running the whole show. He's over all the locals, right? Yeah. So we have these delegate meetings, and we go through craft meetings, get an update from all those locals within your joint council.
23, I think, in ours. Yeah.
So, what did you guys go over?
I sat through every single meeting, but I guess they really wanted us to pay attention, right, and bring back that information from the grocery. Yeah. What's going on in the grocery industry, and the big thing going on right now, something that sticks out to me is what's going on with Smart and Final. Okay. Right. And that's like a great example, man, and a good reminder of.
So if you don't mind, some of our viewers might not know what's going on.
All right.
So what's up with
Smart and Final? They organized, a few workers. They organized successfully, right? They got them in, they voted it in, and now they're shifting that work. They're taking these warehouses. I think it's 5 of them, right, and shifting the work, and they're not allowing these workers to follow their work. These employees that have been working there 20, 30, literally 40 years, they're telling them that they're going to have to reapply. Right.
So basically you had a select number of Smart and Final stores that they unionized.
Or warehouse, I'm sorry.
Warehouses.
Yeah.
They unionized. And then the company still has, a number of ones that aren't. So now they're taking the work from the unionized ones and shifting it, correct?
Exactly. And that's part of their strategy, something they're doing pretty often, every opportunity they have. Right? That's something you see Amazon doing, right?
Yeah, any company.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of their playbook, man. And said 20, 30, 40 years, they told them they have to reapply, right? It's going to happen at the end of 2024. They're not going to have any other job. They're going to have to reapply. No guarantee that they're going to hire them. And that they're going to take a $12 pay cut if they do get rehired.
Christ.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, people, the essential workers that got them through the pandemic, right? That risked their lives, man.
Shows you how much loyalty a company has to you.
And
Like, thanks for bringing us all that money, but go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I've worked for big companies and small companies, and I think the smaller companies, and this is completely my opinion, but I think the smaller companies still have that touch with their employees, and those employees are still people to them.
Yeah.
On a corporate level, when when companies go public and they're really big, and they don't really have that touch with their employees, and they don't really care. They're looking at bottom dollar, right?
Yeah,
they know that the contract maybe that they got is going to afford those members in those buildings more, and all they look at is cost. Hey, this is going to cost this much. Well, let's just shut those down and move the work.
That's it, and
right?
that's happening a lot.
Yeah.
Right, you're seeing a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So this is a threat to everyone. You know, like it's the important thing about having a contract. Like I brought my contract, right? Like we have successor language.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, man, we need to remind our members of that, man. That's like a little thing that we can easily just, take for granted.
Explain successor language. What's that?
So successors and assigns. In the event of a sale, consolidation, merger, assignment, or transfer, a majority control or the business or any part thereof or any other change of ownership of the business of the employer, the purchaser, assignee, or transferee shall be bound by this agreement, right? And we got that going with Albertsons, right? They just divested 400 stores. What was it? Something about that? And we've been through how many mergers already, but as part of that agreement, they're going to divest some warehouses, and that company is going to absorb, right? They're going to honor the contracts. They
have to.
So
they have to look when they go to purchase said company. They have to look, if you have successor language, they have to look at your contract and factor that into what, profits and losses and all that.
I followed my work in 2017 out here to Irvine.
Okay. Where were you before?
Local 630. Out there in Mariloma, right?
Okay.
And I was able to follow my work.
You were all the way out in Mariloma.
Yeah, all the way out in Mariloma. Dovetailed my seniority. Like
nice.
I said, so we had that. They don't have that, and now you got people that have worked 40 years and they got to start all over. And that's the important thing, man. It's about a contract more than anything.
And it's about honestly, it's about the people that know what they're doing to get you those contracts.
Yeah.
Somebody, in the past, put that successor language in there. They say, hey, we need this, and that's something that you can, think about bargaining into your own contracts.
Yep.
There's a lot of white paper contracts that aren't going to have that, a lot of smaller businesses, but as they grow, get bigger, and like I said, turn into corporations and all this stuff, they lose that touch with their employees. And now, it's a really contingent upon us as unionists, right, as active members, to kind of push that, to enforce that stuff, to get those things in the contracts that need to be in there. It's important, really important.
So they got a big rally September 22nd, so that's one of the messages that I want to get out there.
So out there, September 22nd for Smart Final.
September 22nd, yeah, I believe, man. Let me double check it, man. But yeah, that's September 22nd. I'm gonna be out there. A lot of people are gonna be out there.
At?
It's gonna be September 22nd, 600 Citadel Drive, Commerce, California.
Okay.
It's gonna be at their corporate office. I can't pronounce the name of this company, Row. I don't know, but
Do you have a flyer? Is that
I got a flyer right here. It's gonna be
make
from
sure you
3
send it to me so I
p.m.
can put it up.
Got you, brother. So it's
3
gonna be
p.m.?
at 600 Citadel Drive, Commerce, California. Rally to protect American workers from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Nice.
So if you have any questions, it says here to call Oscar Ruiz 213-590-7119. So let's get out there. Last time we had every local out there. Last month, locals that I never even came across.
Yeah.
So everyone was out there, and these the employees from Smart and Final were there. Like I said, man, get out there, reconnect, talk to these people. When you hit a picket line, man, we need that.
And workers, laborers, we need to do a better job of supporting each other, right? Because there's a lot of politics within stuff. There's a lot of, there's just people are involved. When people are involved, stuff gets a little weird sometimes. People vied for power or vote for power. People it gets tough sometimes. But that being said, we as the workers need to kind of support each other, other locals, other unions. We all gain power from that. When big corporations that run, and they run the money, right? They're thinking about just profits, and we need to remind them that we make them those profits. We're essential.
Yeah.
And as technology comes in, it does affect our leverage and our power, and it does make us, and I'll be the first one to say, it does make us less essential to run a business, right? So we have some leverage, and we need to use that leverage as we move forward and just show these bigger companies like, hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere.
Raise awareness. Like, this is a reality. It's something that everybody has to worry about.
Yeah.
If you don't have a contract, you're an at-will employee. You can get disciplined. You can get terminated.
Yeah.
Unreasonable things.
It's nuts.
Right?
I mean, you've seen it throughout. I mean, I've seen it throughout, my growing up within the labor movement. And not that I was always involved, but just seeing it as a laborer, like you'll see, swaths of people get fired just for no reason or whatever, or like when they try to unionize, they'll either fire them, get rid of them, move the work, fire them that way, so they're not technically doing anything illegal. You know what I mean?
They do a lot of illegal things.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. They don't get away. You got supervisors that take it personal. You got managers, that, make it there. Like I said, I was at this other rally, right? Or not a rally, I'm part of picket line. You got a dental office out there in Burbank right now. They're on strike too. They've been on strike for like about 3 weeks.
Wow.
I'm gonna get that information right now too.
So what was the story behind them? What exactly happened?
So this is what I was told by an employee of this dental office. All right, you have the new owners, right? Management trying to renegotiate the conditions that they're working under without the union involvement. They told them, literally, an employee told me this: "Hey, the union isn't representing you anymore. They left you. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna have to start paying more for your benefits." Like they started, if you want to, I think something about reapplying.
The union left you, so we're gonna not give you anything.
The union left you. They also didn't inform you that they were leaving.
Hey, these people built this office, right? They made it to where these people wanted to buy it. They made it successful.
Through their customer base.
Exactly.
And
the customers that I spoke with, right? Because when I get out there, I'm talking to customers, I'm talking to employees, whoever, you know what I mean? And they come there because of the employees. Yeah, they trust them,
right.
And how quickly, like I said, another good example, like if you don't have it in writing, they're going to try to take these standards, these wages, everything back, man. And a time where inflation is, you got $1 million homes out here, we need this in writing. That's what the union is about, man. It's about your rights. They're going to try to make it think it's all about money and this and that. Like, no,
and that's where,
Stability.
one thing you mentioned off camera, that's where like community benefit agreements come into play.
Exactly.
Right. You talk to the community, and the community, like you said, they like the people there, or the revenue generated by, said business or whatever, because these people most of the time live in their community. Yeah. Right. So you don't want either to not have a place like to go to the dentist where you trust or whatever, but you want that also to benefit your community.
Exactly.
Right. So community benefit agreements. You want to talk about that? Touch on what it is. I know you've been to a lot of city council.
I'm working on. I'm helping out some locals, right? 1932, and trying to get into community benefits agreement in the city of San Bernardino. Because we were just talking about like automation, right? That's the future, right? And they're kind of sacrificing communities if it's going to have absolutely no benefit. It's going to bring 8,000 more trucks a day into this. Like, why not just get out in the middle of nowhere, man? Right? Let us build some affordable housing. Let's alleviate some of these prices, right? That's what a community benefits agreement. We don't want it to be a burden on a community where they're going to exploit systems, right? Temp agencies, subcontracting, right? We want direct hire. We want,
I mean, at the end of the day, we want careers. We want lives. We want, we want to rebuild the middle class that's being decimated right now.
I mean, if we're going to have to work 2-3 jobs, which is what's taking place out here, man, everybody is working a lot, man. Yeah. We got people in my shop, where I'm at, union shop, making, good money, still working 10 hours after, doing Uber Eats and You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. Believe
yeah,
me.
man, we need good jobs. We don't need these people to be allowed to exploit these systems, man. Because I worked at a place, man, where they completely depended upon temp workers, right? And these are the places that have like they're saving so much money on labor, man. They had no standard. They're like, we don't need that. We don't need engineer work.
They're like, we don't even care. You can go slow. We don't pay you anything anyway.
They're like, dude, we're so under budget right now. Like, we're not wasting time on training. Here, give them these gloves, throw them in there. You know, they're pulling 30%.
How was training a waste of time?
They basically said, well, I mean, we don't pay you anything anyways.
That's really
so take
how
as
it
long
is.
as you want to do it.
You know, because they had their labor already calculated, dude. They're beating expectations. They're looking like a fucking all-star over here. Yeah. You know? So yeah, man, that's people are there's places out here, man, that I've been scouting, you know. Yeah, man, you got people working through the agency for 20 years. I'm trying to talk to workers and they're like,
and that's why, in all honesty, we got to do a better job of selling what we do in unions and why people should work at union shops and why people should unionize. Really, no matter what your field, you know, if you're not in upper management, you should really be union. Like, it's important.
why wouldn't you want to be union? Yeah, but man, they have an advantage right now. Man, they make it so difficult, right? Like, you got to go through.
Jump through all the hoops.
Yeah, they're talking about, it takes years to get, you know, I can't even speak on, but they're talking about this big decision with CMAX, right?
It
took them 6 years to get, you know, in order to get a bargaining order, right? Like, and that's 6 years, man. Everybody's already gone. They already broke their spirit. You know, you got companies that are shifting labor, like, you know, like these kind of moves, like, it's a lot of fear.
Well, I mean, since we're here, I'm sure our phones and everything else will be listening to us, and they'll probably hear this on the YouTube. But let's talk about one of the biggest purveyors of that, which is Amazon. Right? Which is not, I mean, you got places like Walmart, you know, that touch a lot of different industries. You know, now they're getting into grocery, so we got to look out for it in the grocery industry. But, you know, online, retail, you know, the shipping aspect, they're not there.
Cloud, everything.
Yeah, no,
right.
These guys are.
You know, that's the Walmart, but then you got Amazon that literally touches everything, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, we need to do a better job. We really do.
Yeah.
And it's going to take work, and it's one of the reasons that George and myself never see our families anymore, or because we're constantly working. We come here, do this on our off time. We are off the clock, so cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Just so you know, this is our official off the clock shop talk beer. This was made by a brewer, Alex Ramirez. Shout out to Alex. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
He came through with this, brewed it for us, and this is the official Off the Clock Shop Talk beer. It's a mango IPA. Delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's good, man. Good stuff.
It's good shit.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, you know, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work,
It's going to take all the unions working with each other, supporting each other, man. And I'm telling you right now, right, they've already, I mean, you have these 84 drivers in Palmdale, right? They organized, they formed the union, you know, they demanded recognition, and they shut them down, right?
Well, their whole model,
they shut them down.
Their whole Amazon model is that of subcontracting.
Yeah.
That's why we fight so hard against subcontracting. It really makes it so that the corporation, the company can kind of distance themselves from the employees, even a whole nother step than what we were talking about with them kind of dehumanizing the employees, right? Now they keep them at arm's length. They're like, we'll hire another company who has, you know, drivers, let's say in this instance. We will hire a third-party company that has drivers to do our work. That way, if anything goes wrong with these guys, we go, oh, no, well, that's their company.
That's
you
on
just,
them.
Take it up with them. Hired them.
But at the same time, they control everything.
Yeah, in every industry, right? They're touching everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, them, I mean, this
Amazon.
opportunity.
It's like the other guys.
What's up, Jeffy? But, I mean, since we're touching base, you know, let's call Victor Mineros. See what Vic's doing. Since
Hit up Big Vic.
He actually, his local was One of the first Amazon bargaining units that actually got a contract, and the same thing happened with them. They fired them, shifted the work, whatever you want to call it. But let's talk, see what Vic has to say about it.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show, but I just want to start the show today. I know you guys ended in different ways, but I just want to start the show today by saying, fuck Saba.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, Vic, we just called you, man. We were touching on Amazon. We know that you are one of the first bargaining units that got a contract with Amazon. We kind of wanted to pick your brain about it a little bit. Maybe give us an update. Let us know what's going on.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. First off, I want to thank you and thank all you guys are doing and giving the information out to the members. But with Amazon, we started by, we had interest in workers in a DSP, delivery service partner, who the drivers showed interest in Palmdale, California, to organize. So we went through our traditional way of organizing these workers in this DSP, and Amazon took retaliation against these workers and ended the small business by firing the small business who signed a contract with us, and ended hence putting all of these workers out on the street.
So how does that work? I mean, just a quick little summary. So Amazon hires this third-party company, and I assume gets a contract with them. So was Amazon in breach of contract, or I mean, how did they do that?
That is our position. So Amazon fancies themselves and saying, start your own business, because Amazon has 0 drivers as employees. They don't hire drivers as employees. So they create, it's a way to keep from drivers organizing. It's a total anti-union tactic. They keep these drivers from organizing. So they hire they put out, public notice, hey, start your own business, be a business owner, reach out. We're looking for minority people to start their own business with Amazon, veterans. So they sell certain routes. For instance, like BTS, they have between 30 to 40 routes, or maybe a little bit more. I might be off on the number. So they hire and they say, start your own business. But it's really not your own business. With your own business, you're going to run your own business models. What's going to be dictated by the market, the structures of how to do all of that. These, in reality, John, George, and Sabas, I mean, they're not their own business. They literally have to follow a model. They have to literally, they pay for their own materials, but they have to do exactly what Amazon tells them. So it's not
it's not their own business.
This sounds like being an employee to
me.
Right.
Even down to, like, if you're an owner-operator and you fall sick, obviously you fall under, like, you get sick, and that's the end of it. I mean, you go to the doctor, you do. So, like, with these guys, they were falling under safety stuff. It, in Palmdale, it gets up to 115 degrees.
Wow.
And it was just way too hot. These our members now, or these workers who were just, they were melting out there. There was just no relief for them. And Amazon was holding them accountable, saying, hey, you couldn't meet their criterias of the business.
Like production standards or what?
Production standards, just safety standards. And it was a problem. So, the owner of BTS, Battle Tested Strategy, was like, hey, I can't subject my workers to this.
Yeah. My workers, your workers, Amazon.
Hence Amazon, exactly, John. Hence, these are their workers. So, he would be like, stop what you're doing and bring it in. And Amazon said, you're not meeting the criterias that an employer really does. So, in a sense, it's a standard to It is a joint employer. If they want to say they're going to partner up and say, hey, these are workers, it's all a joint employer. They work for Amazon. Let's not kid ourselves. They work for Amazon. And so Amazon has now fired the contractor, BTS, Battle Tested Strategies, who we have an agreement with, and they're not meeting to the requirements of these workers. And they wash their hands saying, well, they're not our workers, they're BTS workers, so you deal with them. And this is strictly a strategy from letting them form their union. And so all of these workers, we've been on strike for some time now. And I mean, we really, really need the labor movement to come together. If Amazon doesn't affect your local union, you as a union member, you are completely mistaken about it. Amazon is in every business possible. They're in grocery, they're in movies, they're in
pharmacy,
parcel
pharmacy,
delivery, everything. So, I mean, this is really a call for the labor movement to wake up and get involved. And we have to take this behemoth of a company on.
Yeah, and we were kind of discussing a little bit about that earlier in the show about number one, the tactic in keeping that arm's length, from your employee really is what it is. And we talked about how bigger companies, corporations have really dehumanized people, right? But Amazon has now taken a step further to basically, like you said, they say, well, these guys do everything we say because we are the quote unquote employer, but we want to act like a contractor, right? Oh, fuck.
You get disconnected.
Yo.
Sorry about that. I lost you there.
No, it's all good. Where was I at?
Yeah, you left off and they're defacing labor.
Oh yeah, well, we were basically talking about how bigger corporations have kind of dehumanized their employees, right? So they kind of dehumanize their employees. They look at them as numbers. They look at us laborers as numbers. But Amazon has taken it a step further now to put another layer in between them and their employees, where Amazon will tell them that they, exactly what to do, like you said. If they don't meet a certain amount of, a certain parameter, they're not happy because, in essence, they are the employer, but they want to act like they're just a company that's hiring a contractor at the end of the day. So they can get rid of their contract or whatever. It's another layer of protection to not have to answer to the employee at all, or safety standards, or, whatever the case may be, whether it's harassment or overworking them, or they don't have to answer to any of that because they're saying, oh, well, we signed a contract and that's it. They're not our employees.
It almost seems
right.
like
and if they form a union or they become rebellious in any way, they don't know. They're not going to be able. They just say, well, we don't have to deal with this. Bam, you're fired.
Yeah. Well, so what's the update with your guys?
So our guys are currently and continue to be on strike. There is an active strike line in Palmdale. They are extending picket lines throughout the country. They've extended it in New Hampshire, in Boston, Michigan, Northern California, Atlanta. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, as a labor movement, if there's anything and everybody who can come together, this is it. Amazon is the threat of a lifetime. This is the threat where this should bring us together. So we've actually held these workers. We're holding strong on the lines. We continue to extend picket lines. The labor movement in a whole is coming together and saying, Amazon, enough is enough. These laws need to change. We have to protect workers. We have to revolt and let this company know that this is not tolerated. Being a union member is a right in this country. It is a right. It is something that has been fought for. And now is the time to come together. like even in the package division in UPS or the UPS members, there's a lot of members who said we should have taken this company out on strike. We achieved a great contract, but here's the fight. There's no way we can negotiate strong contracts when we have Amazon biting at our heels.
Yeah,
they're literally biting at our heels.
Well, they're pulling the other way.
We've health and welfare. What's that?
No, I was just saying that they're really pulling the other way. We talked about that, in previous shows where we were talking about getting the best UPS contract and what that meant to as leverage for organizing Amazon. We kind of discussed how Amazon is pulling the opposite direction where they want to pay their employees less. They don't want any responsibility for their employees. And UPS, in getting that historic contract, and I will say thank you for that, in getting that historic contract, you give us some leverage and some incentive for these guys to see what a bargaining unit, what a union can do for them.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, though, John and George. We have to literally, that is the true testament of a fight. If you think about it, we, as UPS members, we are the highest paid in the industry, not only when it comes down to wages, but even just language and protection. We are the top of the echelon on it. And if you see, we want you to have that fire in your belly, but it has to be attacked to the true enemy. The true enemy is Amazon. Mm-hmm. They are picking apart our industry like there has never been before. UPS is the largest private sector agreement in the country out of any union. So, that's why we're activating the members and say, look, here's the real fight. Engage, stand by these workers, donate to these workers. This is the fight. I just wrapped up an initiation meeting, and that was one of the things. Is just if you want to be thankful for what you achieved, don't be thankful, or be thankful, but also move to action. Mm-hmm. Move to action. Talk to Amazon workers and tell them what they deserve. Tell them what members in the Teamsters Union do. Donate to them. Donate so we can continue this fight, and all the money in the international, all the money in local unions, all the bodies in the international, all the bodies in the local unions will never be enough. That's why we have to prove to this company, we have to prove to the public that we're not going to tolerate that. They're coming into our communities, bringing low-paid jobs. They're not bringing into the communities and growing. You come into my house, you bring something, or I go to your house, you bring something to and be part of this whole thing. Yeah. And Amazon is not doing that.
You talked a little bit about it, but what more can people do to get involved? You said, obviously talk to your Amazon drivers or your, people that work for Amazon and explain to them what more there is out there if they're just willing to stand up. Now, is it going to be easy? I don't think anyone's ever said that. But, to fight for what you deserve, number one. But what else can people do to kind of get involved?
There's multiple avenues to get involved. One, talk to your Amazon worker. Two, talk to your politician. Talk to your neighbors. If an Amazon comes to your community, it is literally, you don't want anybody who's not going to contribute their fair share in their community. And three, the most important thing right now, we are in a battle to maintain these workers who continue to extend picket lines. You can donate personally, you can do a one-time donation, you can do a monthly donation. Donate. We are in a fight of our lives, and nothing has ever been easy in the labor movement. When we fought for the 8-hour guarantee or overtime after 8, child labor, weekends, all of that stuff was a battle, and it was never easy. It was all these workers at the time of the labor movement, they were saying, you'll never achieve it, and it has been achieved. So we're just asking everybody to get involved. If you can't make a picket line, talk to your Amazon worker, talk to your neighbor about how horrible Amazon is when they come to the community. They've modeled everything around just accessibility, just everything now. We are a generation of now.
Yeah,
You need a phone charger, you need it now. So, but with that, it comes at a cost. And the communities are facing these costs.
Yeah.
Our contracts are facing these costs. So, I mean, even just if you're not going to, the minimal at least you can do is get involved. You'll have all of where members can donate to this.
Yeah, and look, I just want to put a challenge out to our listeners. Get on, donate. We're going to put the link up. What Victor's referring to for the Amazon driver strike fund. We're going to put that link up so you can support them as they fight literally for all of us. I mean, we are leading the battle. The Teamsters are taking the biggest strides towards fighting that battle, but they're the ones, boots on the ground, who are putting their lives on the line, who have struck this giant corporation really for all of our benefit. And I will put that challenge out to all of our members. It was an idea that Brother Silver had over here, but get on a monthly reoccurring payment. $5-10 a month, whatever you can afford, just get on it. I promise you'll forget about the $5 or $10 a month. You won't even notice it. But that goes a long way into fighting this corporation that is decimating the middle class, that is, bringing in these low-paying jobs, as you said, just touching every industry and growing and looking to touch more industries.
Absolutely. This is a wake-up call to the labor movement. $5 a week, $5 a month, anything that you could possibly do. If you really wholeheartedly believe, if you're a grocery member, a sanitation member, in any industry, a public sector member, if you feel like this doesn't affect you, you are completely mistaken. It affects you. They spend millions in changing laws and attacking labor laws. This is the time to join forces, standing shoulder to shoulder to get this done. Honestly, guys, I just literally wholeheartedly believe that everybody should be involved in this. This is the call here. This is the time to get it done. Nobody's gonna do it for you. They are spending the millions and millions of dollars, just their business model in a revolving door. They think that a revolving door will keep members from organizing or keep workers from organizing. Well, they're mistaken. That we are taking them on. Local 396 is heading this. We will be extending picket lines. We will be doing actions. This is a call to all members, all unions. Doesn't matter if you're in the Teamsters Union or a public sector or union. This is the time to wake up and fight a giant. This is the time to take on that giant and tell them enough is enough. We are not going to tolerate this bullshit.
Said like a true fighter, I will say that. I mean, you've shown that, in the UPS contract that you guys just fought for us and won some amazing things. And now we're ready for the next fight, the next title bout, right? We're going to see what we got.
The fight never ends for the working class, brother. Just wake up and fight. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Bring it on. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to tolerate just, let's see what handout we get. We're going to go out there and get it. So I thank you guys very, very much. All your viewers, your listeners, I encourage them to get involved. I plead for them to get involved. Wake up. This is the time. We've never lived in a movement of our age that union approval is at an all-time record high. Yeah. If we're not going to do anything with it, and then so we could just stand back. If you're not going to do anything, stand back and let everything get taken from you. This is the time. Brothers and sisters, get involved. Thank you for what you guys are doing. Get involved, push, talk to the community, let them know, yes, you get a deal on your phone case, but that deal comes at a cost.
Yeah.
And the cost is Your kids are not going to have a future. Your kids are going to be automated. I can go on. The list goes on and on. I appreciate you guys for going out there, being the voice of labor, doing what you guys do. This is a great show. I appreciate you guys. John, George, Silver, thank you for being out there. Silver has been a warrior for workers, and Silver does it for other than let's protect what we have. And Sabas, fuck Sabas. I love you, my brother.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate you taking the call. Giving us an update. We'll definitely spread the information for the strike fund. Well, I guess that's technically a strike fund.
It's solidarity fund. It's solidarity. These workers can extend and continue the fight and have. I mean, we all work as a necessity. We don't work for pleasure. We do it because it's a necessity. And these workers are day in and day out, hottest weather ever. They're out there fighting and just encouraging to get involved. It's literally get involved, wake up. This is the time. Like, there's no other time. Get involved. We have to let these communities know enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate bullshit anymore.
That's right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. Like I said, I'll let you get back to your family and changing out that water heater. But I appreciate you taking the time, brother.
All right, Vic.
Yes,
Later,
absolutely.
Vic.
Next time I'm going to do it, I'll be live and in person and
That'd be great.
yelling
I
at
would love
Sabas on the side.
Yeah, for sure.
Camera.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Peace.
Later,
Thank you,
Victor.
guys. I appreciate you.
Later.
One more thing I wanted to add, right?
Yeah.
We got large actions. We got actions coming up. They're extending these picket lines. People that want to participate, be involved, you could reach out to your local 63, local 396, 1932. Us, we're forming a volunteer list. Send your availability,
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep you in the loop. It doesn't happen too often, but we need 200 people out there, 300 people out there, right? That's when the police, they really don't want to fuck with you. We're really trying to shut the shit down, So, like I said, I encourage everyone out there, man. You want to be part of something monumental, reach out to the show,
Yeah.
to me.
I mean, we'll definitely be
let's get
putting
there.
a lot of information out there for all the viewers.
Yeah.
I don't want to put your cell phone number out
No,
there,
no,
but we'll get some ways that you can get in contact with some point people, and like Silver said, get on that volunteer list and just be ready for the fight, because it's coming to all of us.
Yeah, we're gonna shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
The last thing we'll talk about is just is involvement, right?
Involvement.
What does it mean to take out a couple hours of 1 weekend a month or whatever? We talk about it on a local level as like, hey, get out, get informed, and that's for yourself, right? To get informed with your local union, come to your general membership meetings. That's for yourself. Now, you might not think that it's for yourself, but this also is for you. To invest that time in yourself, because Amazon's touching everything. They're touching everything.
Literally.
So, I mean, for me, it just, we got to do a better job of investing our time wisely. Yeah. We don't have forever.
Especially if you're a shop steward.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic, man. This is a part of the job. How are you going to try to mobilize your members when you're not active, right? And how are you going to bring that, like, reconnect these members, right, that have had it good for so long? Like, they need to be reminded. We got to get out there on these strike lines. We got to make contact with these people out there, right? We got to make contact with these people that work for Amazon. Yeah. Really get into their lives, man. Make a deep connection and see how people are really living out here.
The communities that are affected by the Amazon, the warehouses.
Bad, man. It's going to make you appreciate what you got a lot more, and we got to bring that back to the shop, man.
That's an aspect that I think that we don't touch on a lot. And granted, we're all looking out for ourselves and our families. That's a given, right? But we need to do a better job of looking out for each other, because like I said, as Amazon kind of destabilizes industries, and it's not just the delivery industry, as they destabilize these industries, you don't even notice that you might be up here right now with your contract, but they're pulling the whole tide the other way. And we're fighting, pulling this way. And we just need to do a better job of understanding the long game because companies do,
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Get involved one way or the other. If you can't make it to the meeting, go out with your coworkers.
Yeah.
Go out to a restaurant down the street. Make it weekly, every 2 weeks. Some type of engagement, man. That strengthens the solidarity in the shop, and recognize, man, when you just try to maintain that. Fuck the bullshit, right? Fuck the bullshit little politics, man.
Yeah.
Fuck the shop talk. And I've gotten caught up in that shit too, you know what I mean?
Everybody does.
And I apologize, for that. And, but ultimately, man, it's about the big picture. That's all I see now, man.
Let's do it. Man. And I mean, in all honesty, I think that's like the theme of the show, man. Right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's a message, bro. We gotta get this shit done. We need good people doing it, and we don't need anybody making it harder for us, man. Just support, everybody, man. Let's come together, man. Let's get out there. We got this, got these rallies, man. Like I said, the 22nd, September 22nd.
Yeah.
We got the AB3, what is it?
AB 316.
316, right? September 18th, and at the Santa Anita Park.
Yeah.
We need to get out there deep.
That's for automated cars.
Automation.
Yeah. And it's like you said, it's touching everybody. We were talking about the warehousemen, but it's going to come to drivers too. It's a matter of time.
Man. Let's get out there. Reach out. Your shop steward, get the time off. You know what I mean? We all take losses, man, as representatives out here, man. We all take losses.
It's
man.
investing, right? So sometimes you have to invest your time. Sometimes you got to invest your money, but it's for your future.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm broke as fuck this year, man. This is the least that I've ever made, man. I can't, you know what I mean? But damn, bro, this is worth it, man. It needs to be done, man.
For your kids, for my kids.
Done,
you know what I mean?
Future. Yeah, man.
I honestly think we could talk about the subject for a long time. The key points to me of, just the discussion we had are get involved. And that starts with getting informed. Get informed, know what's going on, go to your general membership meetings, know what your union is fighting for and the reasons they're fighting for it. On top of that, then after you're informed, get active, right? Just like Brother Silver here.
One way or the other, man, whether it be meetings, getting together with your coworkers, interacting with your coworkers, making deeper connections, man.
Get active, and then the last part is get in the fight. Invest that time, invest that money into your future, into your kids' future. We thank you guys for tuning in every week. Thank you, Brother Silver, for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Awesome points. Next time we're gonna have to go over some of those books that you've been telling me about, man. I actually have I just got a subscription to an audiobook thing, so I can listen to some of those, man. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in every week. Thank you guys for everything that you are doing. I won't take away from anything, that anybody's out there working hard. But if you're not, get involved.
Definitely. Please like, share, and subscribe. Down in the comments, let us know what you thought about this topic here, about automation. Maybe tell us a little bit about the barn. Also, we are going to we're going to release the logo. I want to try and do it next week. We'll see.
Okay.
Shows. I want Silas to be here.
Yeah. He should be.
He should be here.
You know what? Just have Gary come.
Okay, we'll have Gary come. We'll have Gary come. You can also email us at ocst.000@gmail. Put in whatever you want there. Topics about your barn, questions about automation, pictures, anything. You can also follow us on Instagram at ocst.952. Please follow us and also share. And we are going to be doing more live stuff on Instagram soon. I know we didn't really do one this week, but we're definitely going to pick up on that. And I think that's kind of it.
I got one more thing, though, all right?
Yeah.
I mentioned this dental group that's out on strike right now.
Okay.
I just want to get that one last message out there.
Yeah, go for it.
Bellflower Dental Group, 10318 East Rosecrans Avenue, Bellflower, California, from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. They've been out there for a few weeks. If you're in the area, even if you got to drive an hour to be there a half an hour, they appreciate it. They really do appreciate it.
I'll say this. I don't know them, and I don't know that, but I support what they're doing.
Yeah.
Standing up, fighting for themselves, fighting for other people in their industry, and it's commendable.
That's it.
Definitely commendable.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See you.